Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
Indiana's governor calling for an investigation as thousands remain without power in northwest Indiana 2 weeks after a storm.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun is calling for an investigation into Northern Indiana Public Service Company 13 days after a severe storm with powerful winds damaged several communities, including the city of Gary, where many are still in the dark. Braun directing the state to file a complaint and to investigate NIPSCO. The governor, in a statement, also emphasizing that the crews on the ground, including some from outstate, have done an extraordinary job, though saying that NIPSCO management has failed to deliver adequate solutions and failed Hoosiers. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The power company says it hopes to get all power restored by tomorrow. Nearly 25 years later, a victim of the 9/11 attack on New York's World Trade Center has been identified. The adult female, whose name has not yet been released pending notification of her family, was identified using genetic genealogy. California's Attorney General has called off a planned meeting with Paramount executives.
Rob Bonta was set to sit down with the company Monday for preliminary settlement talks over the state's lawsuit seeking to block David Ellison's $111 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. But Bonta pulled the plug late Sunday, accusing Paramount of misrepresenting a Friday meeting, according to the New York Times. Bonta is leading a coalition of 12 states challenging the Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger, arguing it would give the company too much power. Multiple sources over the weekend reported that Paramount is looking at Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia as the short-listed relocation states if a settlement isn't reached by October 1st. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
At the box office this weekend, Spider-Man Brand New Day on top for a fourth straight week, adding another $39 million. Insidious out of the further in second with $25 million, and The Odyssey in third. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Crews are on the scene of a structure fire on Stumpfield Road at Pensacola Boulevard. Use caution if you're in the area. Traffic signals out East 9 Mile Road at North Halifax. Slow on the Pensacola Bay Bridge from Gregory Street to Gulf Breeze Parkway. It's a 13-minute drive. And it's slow on the Foley Beach Express from Highway 59 to Canal Road, a 22-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
News Radio 710.
And now, live from Mobile, Alabama, as the stomach churns, starring Uncle Henry, coming to you through Electro Voice microphone. Joining Henry will be callers, emailers, radio and internet listeners. So without further ado, in the style of that great country music legend Minnie Pearl, here's Henry!
Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I appreciate it very much. Glad you're here. Let me stop that. I've already made a drastic operator error. There, now stop it. See, now I'm still learning. Now I know the software this broadcast software is brand new to me. Been here for about 6 weeks. I'm still getting the hang of it. So here we are together. Let me restart everything. Uncle Henry Show, News Radio 710 WNTM. A Monday, and I do have an in-studio guest. Proud to welcome back to the Uncle Henry Show after numerous years. Scotty White is here. from ScottyWhite.com. That still exists. You
Still
can
does.
also
Still
you can
does.
also find Scotty White on Substack. Go and read all of his stuff. Scotty White, happy birthday!
Thank you, Uncle Henry. I'm so excited to be here.
Glad to have you here. Now, one of the reasons, I guess the main reason or the excuse for Scotty White being here is that he is directing a play and this is Greater Escambia Council of the Arts.
Right, in Atmore, Alabama.
In Atmore, Alabama. Trip to Bountiful.
Yeah, the Trip to Bountiful by Horton Foote.
And you still have another weekend where people can come see this play.
Yes, we got we have Thursday through Sunday, so you can see the play. We have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. We have a matinee for that day.
Well, Scotty White, I want to hear all about that. But first, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to Scotty White!
Thank you so much, Uncle Henry. I'm so happy to be here again and to get birthday wishes from you in person.
Now, Scotty White is somebody that he was on the Uncle Henry show. I think the first time Scotty was on the show was probably about 10 years, give or take a couple of years either side ago, back when this show was for about 8 months. We were on the CW.
That's right.
We were on television in the morning, and you were one of my guests. You came in and you talked about some of your comic book publishing and things like that, and we also talked about genre television.
Sure. If I remember the story correctly, you had been doing Walking Dead reviews.
Yes.
On the show, and I got jealous that other people were on there, and we knew each other, and so I was like, well, when can I come on?
Yeah. Okay.
So I invited myself, and suddenly we did a bunch of those and a bunch of Game of Thrones.
Yes, indeed. So Scotty on the show quite a bit back in the day, and you've been very busy. We're going to talk about some of Scotty's ventures here on his birthday, but we're going to get into community theater. That's the excuse for him being here, is talking about the community theater in Atmore, and we're going to get to that because it's well worth talking about.
Absolutely.
I've seen great stuff there that Scotty has been connected to. Before we get to that, you have bought in and are a partner in a business out. I consider it kind of West Mobile out on Moffett. It's Gamers and Geeks.
Yes, I'm a co-owner of Gamers and Geeks. That is a recent development. I bought in back in January of 2025. We are the Gulf Coast's largest game store. So we have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic cards and Warhammer and stuff. What's important about us, we're in the old Winn-Dixie that used to be there. So we have 24,000 square feet, and part of that we have 6,000 square feet of free play space. And so you can just come in and hang out and have fun with us. It's a great excuse and wonderful experience.
See, this is I'm sure a lot of people listening to the show don't understand anything that you just said about the game part.
That's okay, because I know they've got children and grandchildren who all know about it, and they need to know where to go, and I have a place for them to go that's fun and safe for them to come hang out with us.
Well, the thing about it that I find, and I'm not into those kind of games either and don't understand what they're all about, really, but I'm amazed, listener, that you go into this place, there's a bunch of people in there. I mean, there are generally on the weekends, especially, you will find a bunch of people in there now, and they're not up to drugging or drinking.
Nope.
They're just sitting at tables playing games together.
It's all about community.
It's all about community. And how would you describe the games? Would you describe them as strategy games?
Well, they're kind of strategy games. They're like fantasy versions of Go Fish or poker or something like that. There's no gambling involved, but it's a fantasy aspect or a fun aspect to it. But it's similar to that. So there's some strategy to that. It's like chess in a way.
Is it also like the game? What was the game where people would take over countries back when
Risk?
Risk. Is it kind of like Risk, only more elaborate?
It can be like Risk, a little bit more elaborate than that. At times, it's like a dueling game between two players, and so you're trying to knock out another player's characters or whatever, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so this is all going on. Gamers and Geeks, 7 days a week.
6 days. We're closed on Tuesdays because we need a rest too, and we restock and clean the store and stuff. So
okay, so Tuesday is a day where gamers are busy doing other things.
Sure, but we launch our. That's why I launch our newsletter, so people can always have them in Gamers and Geeks in their heart.
Okay, so Scotty is out there. May talk more about that later in the hour, and also. Within Gamers and Geeks, you have a toy store.
So yeah, that's how I got into the Gamers and Geeks business and in the gaming business. I opened a toy store 5 years now. May was our 5th anniversary, And so I do vintage and collectible toys. I carry stuff from the 1960s all the way up to today. And, I make people happy all the time. I love, a customer come in who looking for something they haven't been able to find, or something they used to own as a child and reconnect with it, or especially someone wants to come in and get something and they share it with their own children. So it just makes me so happy. I call myself in the happiness business.
Okay, so but are most of your customers adults wanting the toys because they couldn't have them as kids?
Yeah, we have adult collectors. I have more adult collectors than kids that come in, because kids nowadays play with electronics, so they're mostly iPad kids and video game kids, even at a young age. And I get some kids playing with toys, but most of it's adult collectors come in and bringing in their kids with them.
How is there a lot of this? I mean, there are a lot of adults that show up wanting to buy toys?
Well, I'll put it this way. I've been in business for 5 years.
Okay, all right. Hey, well, look. Part of my job is to ask the obvious question and allow you to educate. So obviously, if it's been 5 years and you haven't given up, then obviously there are people coming in there laying down some coin.
And I've traveled the country because of it too. I do conventions and I meet people from all over, and it's been a blast.
Is this a trend in our society that adults are longing for the toys of their youth as the modern toys are more electronic now?
I think it's more connection to nostalgia and good memories. And so, an old toy is a reminder of a good time I had as a young lad. And I think there's a lot of that. Something, I can look on the shelf and see, that Batman toy. It's like I played with that a lot when I was a kid, and it brings me good memories.
Okay, Scotty White, and you can tell Scotty's a writer. His answers, he's using words like lad, stuff like as a young lad. It's wonderful, isn't it?
I can't be verbose.
Isn't this wonderful? Well, as I tell all my guests, I'm not paid by the word, and if you fill the airwaves with words, I still get paid. I still like it. All right, we're going to talk about community theater. I'm looking forward to that part of the conversation as well. We're going to talk about Trip to Bountiful, community theater in general, because Scotty's been involved for years in local theater. We're going to get into that and other things as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. But first, we're going to take a dadgum break. Let's take the dadgum break.
Deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Uncle Henry here to remind you that your home's equity can be used to improve your home, and that could increase your home's value. Investing in a new HVAC system or energy-efficient windows can help you save money now, and it could be attractive to future home buyers. Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union can help you with a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Call them at 251-438-7464 or apply at gulfcoastfcu.org. That's Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union. Loans subject to approval on approved credit. See website for membership details. NMLS number 440571.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
From the Pete and Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Weather Center.
Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible in our area through 8 p.m. this evening. Then we'll have quieter conditions overnight with lows in the lower 70s. Tomorrow we heat up into the low 90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. A few of those may be strong as well. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for this iHeartRadio station.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword music to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's music to 200-200.
There are currently more than 200 Beaumont area children in foster care and not enough licensed families to provide them with a safe and loving home.
It says the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM. Scotty White is the guest. You can find out more about him at scottywhite.com. You can also just look up Scotty White on Substack and read all of his stuff. He made a resolution, I think, this year that he's going to start making sure that everything he writes is available for free.
Yes, absolutely. I made that last year, and I've been holding that pretty well. So the idea is that I write stories and they don't do any good to stay in my head, so I just want an audience, and so I make them available for free on the internet, and if you want a physical copy, you can buy it.
Okay, we're going to talk more about all of that before the hour is up, but Scotty is here. The excuse for having him in on his birthday is to talk about Trip to Bountiful. But wait, Scotty White, we have a living caller.
Oh, I'll take it.
How about that? Scotty White bringing out the callers.
Oh, hello, callers.
Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman, you are live on the radio.
Well, look, it's Norman.
With Scotty White.
Well, good evening. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you. Listen to you on the show. I don't get to talk to you anymore. But now, I was wondering, because I'd seen the movies and stuff. Now, who are y'all going to have playing, Captain Bligh and Fletcher Christian and all of that? Who plays those guys?
And Trip to Bountiful? Yes. Who plays all those characters?
I don't know if I think you're thinking more of a Mutiny on the Bounty than a Trip to Bountiful.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, then I'm confused. What is the Bountiful then, if it's not that?
Yes, Scotty White, tell us, what is Trip to Bountiful about?
So the Trip to Bountiful is a play written by Horton Foote, and Horton Foote is the guy who wrote the screenplay to Kill a Mockingbird, which is near and dear to all of our hearts, and won the Oscar for it. And so this play takes place in 1953 in Texas, and is about an elderly lady who lives with her son and her daughter-in-law, and she wants to see her childhood home before she passes away. That's all she wants to do. No one lets her, so she absconds one day and goes on a trip to go home. And so it's a real story about, can you go home? And the answer is no, but you can visit.
Okay.
All right. Well, that'll be good then. Well, when is this going to be taking place?
So we have shows starting this week on Thursday through Sunday at the Greater Escambia Council for the Arts in Atmore, Alabama. That's 100 South Trammell Street and in Atmore. Right across the street from Gather.
That's over by the train tracks, right?
Right by the train tracks.
I know what you're talking about. Well, look, all right, well, I won't keep y'all guys. It's good to hear from you. Enjoy the show, and good to talk to you, Mr. Scott and Uncle Henry. Y'all have a good day and roll tide.
Roll tide. Thank you very much. Norman interviewing my guest. This is outstanding. This is my favorite type of show. Let's talk more about the play, Trip to Bountiful. Now, how often do you direct at Greater Escambia Council of the Arts?
So we call it GECA for short. So you can say.
All right. How often do you direct in Atmore at GECA?
I try to do about once a year, once every other year. I try to direct a show, once a year. So usually it's either at GECA or at Theater 98 in Fairhope.
How do they pick what play is going to be done?
So I'm very blessed with my relationship with GECA. They allow me to choose my plays. And so I picked this one because
Why?
It's a very special play. It's a good Southern play. It's a good Southern drama, and people can relate. Older people can relate to, like, I do want to go home, and sometimes they're not able to. And so it's good to see an older person going on an adventure.
And this is about an older lady that goes. She ends up like leaving without telling them.
She absconds. She just leaves without telling them. She sneaks out one day.
Okay.
And she takes the bus, and so she goes from bus station to bus station. She meets people along the way, and she ends up to her house. Spoiler alert, but...
Okay, now, and you just told us why you picked it. When you are directing there in Atmore at GECA, what type of folks show up and audition for plays in Atmore?
We have an amazing talent pool in South Alabama and in Escambia County, especially. We get these just, I don't know where they come out of the woodworks, but they're just so many talented people that show up. And so and sometimes it's hard to pick, when you're casting, you get so many good people and you're just like, I could cast this show 3 or 4 times over.
Now, see, that is not, and I just thought because it's my image of Atmore is somewhat rural, up in the woods.
Absolutely.
So I would not think that the woods would be crawling with talented actors up there, all itching to get into a play.
It surprises me too, but yeah, there's a ton of them, and I'm so blessed. This is my 3rd show with GECA, and every one of them I've had just these amazing casts. Some of them have come back to work with me. And I think this time I'm working with 2 or 3, and I've got a bunch of new people, and it's just been so much fun.
So I know I've been to Harvey there that you directed.
Sure, that was the first show I did.
What was the other one?
The Red Velvet Cake War.
Okay.
And so the Red Velvet Cake War was a comedy about 3 cousins who were trying to steal a cake recipe, so their aunt won't steal their house. It's a really, really, it's almost like a sitcom. It's such a zany comedy.
I just had a flashback to it. So I've seen all 3. Well, I haven't seen I haven't seen Trip to Bountiful, but I saw the other one, the other 2 there. And strangely enough, Scotty White does a play closer to me. I don't go. But if it's in Atmore, I'll end up there. And
you feel more comfortable in Atmore. I get it.
Well, it is. It's not a bad place to see a play.
It's not. It's like Mayberry. It's quiet. It's wonderful. They got great food. The casino's down the line. You got all kinds of stuff.
And the people that are in the audience appreciate these plays.
They do. They do. They do. We've had some really amazing audiences. It's funny too because GECA does a lot of comedies and musicals, and so I brought a drama because I feel sometimes you need to bring a drama into the mix, and they're so funny. There's funny parts in this, and the audience is kind of so afraid to laugh because it's a drama, and so you have to give them permission. Like, it's okay to laugh. It's it's a heavy subject, but it's really funny, so you can have a good time with it.
Now, talk about. So this is your 3rd play that you've directed at GECA in Atmore. Can you name a couple of other local theater programs in South Alabama? I know there are probably many of them. Are there a couple that you could highlight as you think do a consistent, wonderful job?
So, of course, the oldest is Joe Jefferson Playhouse, and they just finished Frozen.
Right.
And there's Chickasaw that has a theater group, and so those are 2 that come to my mind real quick.
And you think they both do a great job?
They do amazing shows. I mean, we have, like I said, the talent level here in South Alabama is amazing for actors and directors, and it's just, I mean, theater is such an interesting art anyway, because you try to do a consistent show for every audience, but every show's kind of different, and so you get something unique each time you watch it.
See, one of the things that I enjoy as somebody who just goes and watches is knowing that I'm enjoying the play, the actual writing of the play, but I also enjoy the fact that the people that are performing it are not necessarily professional actors, and they're going to go to a regular life or a regular job afterwards.
All of them do. I mean, in this cast, I've got an executive assistant at Wind Creek. I've got a guy who drives for like DoorDash and Walmart and stuff like that, like Spark. And I've got a mail carrier in my cast. I've got a couple of retirees. I mean, everybody comes from all kinds of walks of life, and it's wonderful.
Well, that's what I love, knowing that the people that are doing the play, I don't know why I appreciate the fact that they're doing such a great job, and I know that that's not their That's not their life's mission.
No,
they're just there participating.
And like me as a director, I mean, I have a real job too. Plus, I have the game store and stuff. But directing in theaters, I love the art so much, and I have a knack for directing, and it just I kind of fell into it, and it's one of my favorite things on the face of the earth. I love it so much.
We're going to take a timeout for news headlines and a few words from our sponsors, and then we're going to continue the conversation. But before we do, if people want to pick up tickets to this weekend's performances of A Trip to Bountiful up there in Atmore, and I know there's at least you've got 4 more shows to do, where do they get these tickets?
Just Google GECA or GECA Atmore, you can definitely get tickets. So.
All right, GECA Atmore, Greater Escambia Council of the Arts, GECA
yep.
in Atmore. All right, back with more on community theater and other topics with Scotty White on his birthday as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Six people have been injured, 3 firefighters and 3 civilians.
A wildfire burning more than 15,000 acres so far. President Trump says his administration is taking steps to expand school choice as millions of students return to class.
The United States spends more money on education than any other country in the world by double, and our results should be better than they are.
Parents are eligible for a federal tax credit to cover tuition and other costs of private schools. Opponents, though, fear the money will be taken from traditional public schools. America's listening to Fox News.
The White House says it's launching an economic D-Day on Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the new sanctions amount to an economic onslaught against Iran to further isolate it from the rest of the world. Speaking today from the Treasury Department, he said Operation Economic Outcast will cut off Iran from exporting oil and from other trade. He said President Trump is already calling world leaders to warn them to cut off all ongoing deals with Iran. The U.S. and Canada are in the middle of a full-blown trade war. President Trump says tariffs on imports of cars, trucks, and auto parts from Canada will increase to 50% beginning on January 1st. This coming after talks between the two countries broke down over the weekend. Trump said Canada has been ripping off the U.S. for years. He added their ridiculously high tariffs on our farmers and farm products has made life impossible for these great American patriots. Meantime, Canada announced retaliatory tariffs on some U.S. goods that will start on September 8th. I'm Chris Coraggio.
Crews are on the scene of a structure fire on Stumpfield Road at Pensacola Boulevard. Use caution if you're in the area. Traffic signals out East 9 Mile Road at North Halifax. Slow on the Pensacola Bay Bridge from Gregory Street to Gulf Breeze Parkway. It's a 13-minute drive. And it's slow on the Foley Beach Express from Highway 59 to Canal Road, a 22-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Staples. All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hey, Uncle Henry here with 2 people who know a thing or two about financial stability. Meet John McNeil and Virginia O'Brien with Mobile Bay Financial Solutions.
Hi, I'm John. In today's unpredictable economy, staying informed is essential.
And I'm Virginia. We will help you make smart decisions, even when the market feels uncertain.
Our strategies evolve with inflation, market shifts, and policy changes, so you don't have to worry. From retirement planning to legacy planning, we offer more than investment advice.
We help you manage emotional discussions with clarity and confidence. Let's talk about your goals and where we can help. Call us today at 251-666-5000. That's 666-5000.
Mobile Bay Financial Financial Solutions, navigating what's next together.
Advisory services offered through Mobile Bay Financial Services, LLC, an Alabama-registered investment advisor. We can offer investment advice in states where we are registered, exempt, or excluded from registration. The material contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice, securities, insurance, or other investment products.
Free shouldn't come with a catch. With iHeartRadio, it doesn't. No monthly fees, no trial periods. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
Born on America's darkest day, September 11th, 01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, they have been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like U.S. Army Sergeant William Bernard McKenna, exposed to burn pits. McKenna later died from T-cell lymphoma, leaving his wife, Dina, and 2 daughters. Tunnel to Towers honored Sergeant McKenna. They paid off the family's mortgage in honor of all of his sacrifice. Donate $11 a month. If you have a car to donate, if you have land to donate, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org today.
Shh, here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
So your next 5 minutes could be your most productive 5 minutes in years, at least when it comes to your finances anyway. That's all it takes to find out exactly how much you'll save joining MediShare versus what you're paying now for healthcare. It's very typical for people to find out they can save hundreds a month, thousands a year. The typical family saves up to $500 a month. And healthcare sharing is different for sure. It's refreshing different. We know from member surveys, people love saving the money, of course, but they also just like MediShare more than what they were doing before for healthcare costs. And it's not a new thing. It's been proven for more than 30 years. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are part of this. So call them now. They are great to talk to. And very quickly, you'll find out what you can save. You can get your questions answered. Your next 5 minutes could mean saving hundreds a month, month after month. And here is the number. Call 844-43-BIBLE. That's 844-43-BIBLE. 844-43-BIBLE.
Thanks to you, we're helping teachers bring more opportunities, creativity, and learning into their classrooms every day. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, making a real difference for teachers and students. And we're not done yet. Keep listening as we get ready to recognize and reward some truly inspiring educators. Celebrate this year's incredible teachers and the difference they're making.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. Scotty White is the guest on the Uncle Henry Show this hour. Scotty White can be found at scottywhite.com. You can also find Scotty White on Substack. He writes, and he has decided that everything he writes is free to the public. So if you want to go check him out on Substack and see all the stuff he writes, he is here. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday again.
Thank you, Uncle Henry.
And the main reason, Scotty, well, the excuse that he's here is to talk about local theater. He is directing the play Trip to Bountiful in Atmore, Alabama. Greater Escambia Council of the Arts, GECA, is presenting this in Atmore, and there are tickets available for the 4 remaining shows of Trip to Bountiful. It's a drama that has some funny stuff in it.
It's a drama. It's a good drama. Also, tickets are only $12. I mean, that's incredibly affordable compared to a lot of theaters around here. So
now, when did you first get involved in a local theater project?
Oh, we're talking 2006 or 7. A friend of mine, Marcus Willis, was going to Theater 98 to audition for a show, Neil Simon show called Rumors. I had read it. I knew about it. And I had an interest in theater. I had been in a couple of things years before. And so I asked if I could just ride along and just to kind of see how it is. And then I rode along, and then they kind of talked me into auditioning. I got a part. And so me and Marcus were both in the show. And so I rode with him to rehearsal, and I fell in love with it. Just had a wonderful time with it. I had a wonderful director, a man named John Hield, who did stuff on Broadway and West End, had retired to Fairhope, and just was amazing boot camp. He took in new people and was like, "This is how theaters run," and fell in love with it.
Hey, can we rewind a bit? So you were directed by a guy that had directed on Broadway, but he was retired to the Eastern Shore, and so you got a Broadway director helping you
for my first show.
In your first, local theater show.
And I look up to him every the entire time. It's like because eventually actors want to direct. And so I did a bunch of shows, and I always wanted to direct. It led me to college too. I got formal training at West Virginia State University, and got a degree and came back home.
So tell me a little bit about acting in a local community theater. Have you had did you ever get in a situation where you forgot your lines or had something like that go wrong while you're out there in front of everybody live?
So, of course, that happens all the time. The key is that 90% of the audience have never read the show, so they don't know what's going. They're in the moment. And so what I like to teach when I'm directing is that the key to acting is listening. And so we all know each other's cues and stuff, and so if you forget a line, another actor is going to help you find that line real quick. They're going to, instead of like, I need to go to the kitchen, you forgot to say that, and it's like, hey, should you go to the kitchen? Oh yeah, that's right, I need to go to the kitchen. And the audience doesn't know.
Okay,
and that's what's great.
You have had that happen.
Absolutely. We forget lines all the time. I remember in that rumor show, I skipped us. It was a dress rehearsal, but we had an audience. I skipped us 3 pages. Like I said the line, and then I went 3 pages and continued the line, and so you never go back. So the show was just shorter that night.
Wow. Okay.
So it happens.
Now, when was your last time being on stage as an actor? Just a few years ago, right?
So there are 2 answers to that. So
okay.
the real answer was a few years ago at GECA in another Horton Foot play called Bus Stop. I'm kind of semi-retired from acting. I like doing it, but I've done about 40 plays, and I'm at the time like I'm looking at. I'm really picky about what I want to be in, and I got asked to do this show because they had an actor drop out, and I read it and was like, oh, this I could do something with this, and so that was the last time I was on stage. However, I directed Neil Simon's Rumors last year for Theater 98, so. They had done it 19 years ago before, 20 years now when I started. And so it was my very first show. Now they let me direct it. So I had to go do that.
Right.
But I had one actor who told me ahead of time, it's like, I can't make the last weekend because my son is graduating from Auburn. And so and I didn't want to lose him. So I was like, look, I'll fill in for you for those days. And so I filled in, and then I had another actor get sick during the run, and I filled in for him another night. But, yeah.
You filled in when they got sick. Now, how did you possibly know the dialogue when somebody is sick at the last minute? How did you know the dialogue?
So what we did was I had a script in my hand, and we told the audience what happened and said, the show must go on, and the director's coming in to do it, but he'll have the script in his hand. And so I had the script in my hand for all of it except 2 scenes where I couldn't have it. He was, the character was running around with his hands on, his hands were burning and stuff, and I can't have a script while I'm doing this. I'm running around doing this silly stuff. And so I memorized those 2 scenes and then had the script for the rest of the time.
Wow, the show really must go on.
It has to. We try not to cancel. People pay good money to see these shows, and these community theaters, they're all nonprofit businesses, and so it's like, they can't afford to lose the money. That's what keeps their lights on, and so it's important to come see these shows because that keeps theater and arts in the communities. And it's all dependent on our audience.
How is community theater doing in South Alabama?
Really well. Between like I said, I know 4 of them. There's probably some more that I'm not even aware of. They're, Theater 98 is doing great in Fairhope. We've got GECA and Atmore. Chickasaw's got a theater. Mobile's got a theater with JJP, and it's doing pretty well. There's a lot of there's a lot of chances to see. There's always, it seems like to me, every month there's at least 2 shows you can see.
Time for a basic question.
Sure.
And again, if you've just tuned in due to your lack of interest or lack of initiative, Scotty White is the guest. We're talking about his play that he's directing in Atmore, Trip to Bountiful. So basic question time. what does a director do with a local play? How does that work? How are you directing people?
So I look at it like, like a general of an army. So, I have troops under me, which are, the actors, but not only the actors, but the people who's running the lights and who's building the sets and things. So I never like saying I have a vision. I have ideas, because visions are hard to change, but ideas you can change all the time.
Right, yeah.
And
yes,
so
indeed.
I have an idea what I want to do. And so, I get a script, and, there's not really rules to it. The only rule you really have to do is the actors have to say the lines. And so you can't change the lines. But everything else is kind of up to interpretation. So how they move, or where they move to, or where you set it, and there's a lot of leeway from that. And so I like very simple sets. I don't like, I have a philosophy of, if it's not being used or someone's not touching it, we don't use it. So if you'll see a lot of my shows, I did in Harvey and I did in Cake War, but I'm notorious for having, a dining room table, one chair, because the audience can fill in the other 4 chairs. And that's what part of it is. You've got to let the audience do some of the work. So, and in this show, my set's very basic. It's almost black box, which is hardly any set. And I've got a little bit of a living room set, and the bus station has only a few pieces, but I let the audience fill in the rest. And so if my actors are doing a really good job, which they are, they'll let you be immersed in this world of fantasy and let you enjoy it.
So it is not because the theaters can't afford the furniture.
No.
You are just sparsely furnishing the set because you're allowing our imaginations to fill in the blanks.
Because for me personally, I think the actors deserve that time, and so you're there to see the actors, and they're so good, and I want to let them shine in that moment. So you don't need to see that extra chair in the background that no one's going to sit in, or we don't need a tree, and so you can use your imagination and you can fill in what's going on.
So are there opportunities, if people love local theater, are there opportunities for people to get involved?
Absolutely.
That don't involve actually being an actor?
Actually, there's a lot. We always need volunteers. So, people to, build sets. If you're, if you're retired and still like building stuff, we love you. Come in and hang out with us and help build sets. We need painters and prop people and people to learn to run lights. And, Gecko has a concession stand where you can get the finest popcorn this side of the Mississippi, and there's you need people to run that, and we need ticket takers, we need ushers. All theaters need people, and so check with your local theater and see volunteer, and acting is a thing too. You can audition. They do. I know Gecko's next play is The Addams Family, and they're having auditions tonight and at 6:00 if you can if you want to make it. And I think they'll be till 8, so go audition for that. But check your local theater, their websites. You'll find out their audition notices too.
They're doing The Addams Family in Atmore.
They are. It's a wonderful musical. It's a really funny musical, and if I had time, I would 100% audition for it.
Now, what when it comes to local theater in South Alabama, what are the types of plays that get picked the most?
It's all we do a lot of musicals because musicals bring in people. People know musicals. Like, again, JGP just did Frozen, which is a huge Disney musical and had an incredible run at that. I know a few months ago, Joe Jefferson did 1776, and that's another huge musical. And not Joe Jefferson, but Chickasaw did 1776, and that's a huge musical. Musicals are always going to be king for this kind of thing because name recognition helps. And
okay.
so that just whatever gets people interested, and it's like we're trying to get you hooked on something. Here's something you're familiar, and if you like it enough, maybe you'll see the next one that you're not familiar with, so you can get familiar with it. So we like to introduce people to Horton Foote or Neil Simon or someone outside of Shakespeare or something.
Okay. All right, we are going to take a quick time. This will be a brief break, and then back with our final moments with Scotty White of ScottyWhite.com. as the Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Power lines that are down on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59. It's a 19-minute drive. On the Foley Beach Express from Highway 59 to Canal Road, it's a 23-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Want more than just awareness for your business? An iHeartMedia partnership can help drive action through sweepstakes, ticket giveaways, listener contesting, and local media. Attach your business to music moments built to grow awareness, engagement, and leads. Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Healthy, beautiful skin starts with the right care. At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists combine experience and technology to help you achieve your healthiest, most confident look. Whether it's advanced laser treatments, medical-grade skincare products, or today's most effective cosmetic procedures, we have personalized solutions for you. This month, save $25 off laser hair removal and $200 off SmartGraft hair transplantation. Schedule today by calling Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center or visit advanceddermclinic.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to newsradio710.com/rules.
Strong to severe thunderstorms are possible in our area through 8 p.m. this evening. Then we'll have quieter conditions overnight with lows in the lower 70s. Tomorrow we heat up into the low 90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. A few of those may be strong as well. I'm Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for this iHeart Radio station.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
iHeartRadio is your exclusive home for the legend who taught us how to count down to number one, Casey Kasem.
We're counting down the hottest hits in the nation on American Top 40.
Relive the countdowns of the biggest hits from the 70s and 80s on Classic American Top 40 with Casey Kasem. All commercial free. And now there's more. Dive into a second channel just for the 90s and 2000s.
Well, now we're up to our long distance dedication.
2 channels, 1 legend. All the countdowns you love. Just search Casey Kasem on the free iHeartRadio app to listen now.
The Uncle Henry Show. We have news headlines coming up. News headlines coming up in less than 10 minutes, and then more Uncle Henry Show after 6 o'clock. I'm going to talk to a neuroscientist and educator that has written a book. The premise of his book is that he does not believe that tech shouldn't be involved in learning in a classroom. He thinks that you can learn about tech in a classroom, but he says he's got proof that test scores have been going down the more we've introduced tech in a classroom. So we're going to find out about that. Should kids have Chromebooks and laptops in school? We'll get into that topic after 6 o'clock here on News Radio 710 WNTM, the Uncle Henry Show. Scotty White is here of ScottyWhite.com on his birthday, talking about the play he's directing in Atmore, Alabama, trip to Bountiful. Now, before we are out of time, just wanted to give you an opportunity to promote stuff that you're involved in. We've said several times that you've decided to offer everything you write for free online because you want to make sure that you have an audience for your work.
Sure.
And if people like it enough, you feel like people will step up and start to support it.
Yeah, I hope so. I enjoy writing it, and I believe stories don't do any good in my head. For the last year, a little over a year, I've been writing young adult science fantasy stuff, so kind of all ages stuff. And because I grew up watching Star Wars and stuff, so I'm writing stuff I knew about and what I like. And the story's called Bonfire. It's a series, and I'm in the third one. I've released. It's free on my Substack. You can every Wednesday is a new chapter, and you can go back and find the chapters. They're all linked together, or you can read it on the first one on Royal Road if you like that website. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of letting it all go out for free, and if you want to own it, we're going to make it available for you to purchase to put on your bookshelf. But digitally, you can have it for free.
Okay, that is a great way, really, to reach people.
Yeah,
just have it out there.
Just enjoy it.
Now, the first time I met you, Scotty White, was it was all about your podcasting.
Sure.
And people that you were helping podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was at a live podcast of How It Stacks.
Yes.
Is where I met you. Mm-hmm. Have you been doing podcasts?
So we're on a hiatus right now. We're actually getting, the summer's been incredibly busy. Justina and Stephanie and I still do the Cult Movie Cantina. We finished up in the spring. We're going to come back in the fall. We're going to hopefully have you on for some stuff.
And would love to, yeah.
So we've got some movie ideas for you for that. So we'll have you come back on for that. But yeah, and that stuff's over at mobcast.com. The episodes are there. Yeah, we're getting back to it.
Now you would come on the Uncle Henry Show from time to time years ago, and you would help. You mentioned already that you helped us review Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
We did a Star Wars too.
We did?
Yeah, it did. Angelo and Johnny Gwynn came in, and
yes.
I think KP was with us.
Okay, one of the first Star Wars movies.
I think it was Rogue One we did.
Oh, okay. Well, you're known for watching that type of genre television and movies. Has anything been really good in the last year or so in genre television or genre movies that you think is good that people might enjoy?
Most recently, Project Hail Mary has been amazing. It's my pick for Best Picture of the Year.
Project Hail Mary. Now, what is a brief synopsis for people that haven't seen it?
So there's something going on with the sun that is dying, and they're looking for a way to fix it. They have to go to outer space, and Ryan Gosling he's an engineer on the project and ends up going to space. He meets an alien who's also looking to solve the problem. It's one of the most charming movies you'll see ever. It's wonderful. It's family friendly, and it's absolutely delightful.
Okay, so Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend it.
Anything else?
Realistically, usually I'm on top of these things, but I've been so busy writing, and so I've been writing more than I've been watching things. So like we talked about earlier, off air. I've missed the Spider-Man movie, so I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Scotty White, see, I love this. Scotty White is producing more than he's consuming, everybody. This is something good. Hey, to be a producer in this world,
I just want to, I just want to bring joy to the world. So I either with toys or my stories or the plays that I do, because we need more joy in the world, and I just want to bring it to you.
Now, what about, have you seen, and we're almost out of time here, has there been anything good out of Star Trek in the last few years? Anything good?
Well, I've enjoyed Strange New Worlds, which is a great series. This season, though, it's been interesting because it's all gimmick episodes, and so I kind of miss them. Just like, can you just go to a planet and do a thing?
Like Star Trek used to be.
Right,
we're going to land on a planet. There's a monster made out of rock.
Right. Last week's episode.
That's good.
Last week's episode, they turned them all into puppets, and I'm like, okay, but can you do that once a season? Not the entire run, but it's still good television, and so it's still fun. So, and if you don't like it, if you like old Star Trek, it's on Pluto. You can watch it on Pluto TV.
That is true. I've learned this. If I were suddenly stricken and could not work anymore, they don't need to make any new TV for me because there's so much content out there.
Right. You can stream it on Tubi or Pluto. It's fine.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we're just about out of time here. Got about a minute left. Scotty White, how do people get tickets for Trip to Bountiful?
So it's easy. Just Google GECA or Greater Cambria Council for the Arts. GECA Atmore will get you to the website, no problem. Tickets are $12, and it's on. Or you can come in person at 100 South Tremel Street in Atmore. It's right across the street from Gather, right by the railroad tracks, as Norman said. And it used to be an old furniture store. It's a beautiful building. It's a historic building. It's great, and it's got a great stage. It's a wonderful place to be. So
very nice.
Come
people.
out of the popcorn.
Yes, the people that volunteer with GECA are very nice.
Super nice. Love the group.
Wonderful people there, and I've been to a couple of plays there, in Atmore, and you'll enjoy it. You will really enjoy it. Trip to Bountiful, you've got performances Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. So Thursday through Saturday is at 7 p.m. and noon is at 2. So come and check it out.
All right, and if you want to find out more about Scotty White, all of his stuff is available, or you can be directed to it at scottywhite.com.
Or subscribe to my Substack at scottywhite.substack.com.
Very, very good. Scotty White, always a pleasure to see you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Uncle Henry. So thankful for you to have me here.
Love you, Scotty White.
Love you too, man. Love you too.
All right, out of time for this hour. There's more show after the news break.